Blazers are hoping to rebound from a heartbreaking loss in New York. They've got no time to look back. Boston is fighting to stay alive in the East. Paul Pierce and the Celtics, Darius Miles and the Blazers tonight on Fox Sports Net. Well, springtime late to New England as we're in cold and wet Boston tonight. Game 2 of this 3-game road trip. We're inside the Fleet Center. Blazers trying to bounce back from that loss Monday in New York, take on the surging Celtics, who are just in that 8th spot in the East and looking to hang on as the Cavaliers charge. Well, welcome courtside, everyone. Mike Barrett along with Steve Jones. And the Boston Celtics have a new point guard. They got a new point guard in that second Rasheed Wallace deal, the deal that sent him from Atlanta to Detroit. Chucky Atkins is the guy. And since he's arrived here, they've started winning.
Well, the good thing for Chucky Atkins is that another deal was made, and he got out of jail. He was not getting a chance to play in Detroit, and suddenly they have rediscovered that Chucky Atkins is the same unknown guy that played so well for Orlando. He can make shots, he can set up other people, so it's been a pleasant addition, and they want to play an up-tempo game, and that fits right into Chucky Atkins' resume. D.Stoudamire, on the other hand, has already established himself as Portland's big fourth-quarter guy, and what they'd like to do is find a way to get him going and be solid through all 3 quarters before the 4th and make it an easy night. So Damon, who has a big matchup advantage against Chucky Atkins, has to play through 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Portland to win.
Well, Stoudamire's numbers continue to rise. His recent play, the reason why, and Atkins playing well as well for Boston. Their scoring is up. Well, a lot of people saying that Paul Pierce has been playing better with the addition of Chucky Atkins. Having a shooting guard has taken some pressure off Paul Pierce.
Well, the pressure is always on Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is their big moment player, and he is one of the best big moment players in the NBA. When they need a bucket, they're going to number 24, and Paul Pierce is the guy that has found a way to really play big when the game is on the line. Oh, he's number 34. It doesn't change because Darius Miles is going to have to identify him, and he's going to have to be able to contain him early in the ballgame. Kind of get him frustrated, score some points, and more importantly, try to get in Paul Pierce's head and get ready for the 4th.
Well, you see Pierce's numbers and Miles coming off a good game in New York as well. The Blazers looking at this as a must-win, and they have won 4 straight here in Boston. They've got to get it done tonight, got to bounce back from that loss in New York. Danny Ainge, of course, running things here now, and he came in swinging a wrecking ball, and now they're thinking playoffs. Portland and Boston in the Fleet Center tonight.
G.I. Joe's, we don't sell action.
Sponsors of the Portland Trailblazers. By Country Insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick. By Standard TV and Appliance, with over 10,000 appliances in stock. By Les Schwab. If we can't guarantee it, we won't sell it. And by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom.
And back inside the Fleet Center here in Boston, the Blazers, of course, no time is running out in this playoff race. They've got to take advantage of every opportunity and most of all bounce back from a tough loss, says assistant coach Jimmy Lynam.
You know, there's 2 teams that in essence you're in neck-and-neck competition with. You know, these games are vital, especially given what we have in the way of scheduling. There's still more road games than home games, and it's kind of the flip side for both Utah and Denver. So now they realize that this is a big game.
Oh, you know, everybody want to win now. You know, we want to get this game. We know how important this game is. So, you know, the mindset is great right now. So we focus. So that's all.
Still focused on the playoffs, but the schedule doesn't get any easier. Now the goal is 2 of 3 on this trip that starts and begins tonight here in Boston. Coming up next, we'll check the keys to the game. We'll get you the Gatorade X Factor, the starting lineups, and we'll tip it off. Blazers and Celtics.
See this group of smoking hot chicks.
Try to run, but at the same time get back defensively, and then you've got to really try to contain their big hitter and Paul Pierce. And Portland has got to score the ball. Boston is going to give you a chance to score, take advantage of the easy scoring opportunity, and then leave the Fleet Center happy people.
Well, energy always a factor when you're on the road, so who is the Gatorade X factor tonight?
Well, the most energetic of all the Trailblazers has been Ruben Patterson, and Patterson only got to fly a few times against the New York Knicks, and they need more of his energy and enthusiasm and play with reckless abandon to put Pierce and the Celtics away.
Ruben, the X factor, is it in you? The Coors Light starting lineups. Coors Light cold down easy. Anderson, Stoudamire in the backcourt for Portland. Miles and Randolph the forwards, and inside the shot blocking T.Ratliff, who had 6 at New York on Monday. Maurice Cheeks, head coach of the Blazers, of course. And for the Boston Celtics, who are in the 8th spot in the East, they've got a full 3-game lead on Cleveland when you factor in tiebreakers. Paul Pierce and Chucky Atkins in the backcourt. Yuri Welsh and Walter McCarty, the forwards. Mark Blunt inside at center. And John Carroll, the interim head coach of these Celtics, 12-16 in his time here. He was named the interim head coach on January 27th. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape tonight.
Well, one thing, both teams still are not as good defensively as they'd like to be. Boston scores at a little bit higher rate. Everything else is almost dead even. So it is the team that wants it the most that will prevail tonight. And why don't you tell Dennis Johnson you gave the job in Boston? He can just pack his stuff and get ready to come here.
That's been the big story in the papers the last couple of days. DJ, of course, an assistant coach at the Blazers and advanced scout, went down to scout the Celtics at New Jersey on Monday night. And a lot of the stories have been about Dennis Johnson perhaps being the next head coach of the Celtics. The, of course, legend here in the Boston area, Dennis Johnson.
Well, he's part of a couple of those banners that are up there in the air. Darius Miles gets off the mat with a quick start and gets and one.
Well, Miles going hard early as Portland got that tip, and neither team seemed to know which way they were headed on the jump situation. Miles took off with it, had numbers the entire way, finally turned around, scored, and here he is with a chance at a 3-point opportunity. And does not convert, but the ball is tipped and nearly saved, and it is saved by Paul Pierce to Mark Blunt. And so Boston with their first possession, Portland on top early.
Well, let's see how Portland's defensive energy is here early in the ball game, because this is what's going to make the game easy for them against the Celtics.
Paul Pierce coming off a 21-point game at New Jersey. He got up to a terrible start in that game, 1 for 8, and in fact had 18 of his 21 in the second half, but he hits his first jumper here. The Blazers out in their alternate red jerseys once again. They wore them Monday in New York. Miles hard to the rack again, missed the shot, rebound tipped up and out by T.Ratliff. Blunt turns and fades over Ratliff and hits.
And what the rest of the league wants to know is who is Mel Blunt, this one here, that is scoring all of these points. But he has played much better for John Carroll, and the reason for it is the system that they use. Wells quickly at the other end.
With the rebound to Blunt, they kick it out to Walter McCarty for 3. He's off with it, and the rebound claimed by Ratliff for Portland. We talked so much on Monday night about the New York Knicks and the changes they have gone through as Stoudamire tries to lob to Darius Miles and a late foul call, but Miles will shoot free throws. But this Boston team has gone through a lot of changes themselves. You talk about a lot of trades. Danny Ainge, much the way that Isaiah Thomas came in and flipped things over, has done that here in Boston.
But the thing that Danny Ainge wants to try to do, and a lot of teams are thinking this way, is get a more energetic, up-tempo team out on the floor, get guys that can do a combination of things, and fill the house with fans that like that style of play. So he came in, made some trades, and started with the big hitter with Antoine Walker.
Well, the rim is bent. It certainly looks like it's bent to the right. And Danny Crawford checks it and says, no, let's play. But you could see by that shot from the end zone that it absolutely is bent, but it doesn't affect Miles on the first free throw.
For the Celtics, number 4, Chris Smith replaces Mark Brown.
I'm not sure who was out there dunking that hard at Portland's end in warm-ups, but apparently somebody was.
Come on now, that rim's not thin.
Are you saying you do not believe Darius Miles?
Darius Miles is not a great shooter. I mean, a shooter would tell you his rim is bent. This guy's a dunker. Come on.
Well, maybe it was him then. Atkins with it. Here's Pierce against Miles. D.A. helped from behind and slapped it off the leg of Pierce. Portland ball. And John Carroll out wanting a foul call.
Watch out.
Lobs it up to Ratliff. D.A. with the pass, and Boston slow getting back after what they thought was a foul.
That's why you can't complain. You know, you just got to turn and let the play go and try to make it up the next time around. And that's a good example for all players. You know, change into the floors and then talk about it later.
Yuri Welsh off with the jumper. The rebound to Z.Randolph, and Portland back the other way.
But Portland absolutely hammered the Celtics earlier in their visit to Portland, and they're trying to make it an easy game tonight. Ratliff back-to-back.
That was back on February 21st. The Blazers got off to a 22-0 lead on Boston at the Rose Garden and coasted home from there and won at 105-84. It was not that close as Miles fouls Pierce and he hits the shot. Blazers, in fact, led by as many as 39 in that first meeting.
But again, this is what has gotten Portland in trouble with other teams, allowing them to run their offense. How quickly and easily the ball got to Paul Pierce is the reason for the three-point play. Pierce with 5 early points.
Well, Boston in recent years, certainly not in the game we just talked about, but has played well at times in Portland. The Blazers, meanwhile, have won 4 in a row here in Boston. And Darius Miles says, I did not touch that ball, but it's not going to matter. Rodney Mott says you did and gives the ball to the Celtics.
Well, if he didn't touch it, then Theo threw it out of bounds. Either way. See how quickly they're getting that ball to Pierce. Nice steal, Miles.
Miles finds D.A. He lobs it back to Miles for the one-handed jam. Anderson with a couple of very nice assists here early in this ball game. In fact, 3 of them in the game.
Well, that's good transition. Boston will give you a chance to get that layup. Miles is overplaying Paul Pierce, and he should try to do that right from the get-go and hope that T.Ratliff is going to be able to bail him out if he gets by. 5 on the clock.
Welsh in the corner. Pulls up from 10 off the glass. An awfully easy look for Welsh, who looked to be fighting the shot clock and in trouble, but made something out of it. Blazers 4 for 6, and the nice news there is 4 assists on all 4 of those field goals. Now Zach wants a piece of this. He throws it away. Pierce with it. 3-on-2 to Welsh. Miles blocks the shot from the backside. Darius in transition. 3-on-1. Ratliff fouled. Technical foul. John Carroll, who was up off the Boston bench wanting a goaltend.
So Rodney Mott called the T, and he said, Gary Benson, I need to talk to you, Gary. Gary said, I made the call. The block shot.
And former Oregon State Beaver Lester Connor off the bench, trying to get a hold of John Carroll and get him back to the bench before he gets tossed.
Well, you know why? Because then he'd have to coach. Last year, the Celtics coach Jim O'Brien got tossed from the game, and Lester Connor had to step in and try to change things. So D.Stoudamire, Damon, will make the technical, and Portland will get T.Ratliff to waltz to the line for a pair of free throws.
And Ruben Patterson, the early call off the bench for Darius Miles.
Well, Miles has been active. I think, one, his energy has been up. It's been good. I think they want to make sure they keep everybody fresh and attacking. This is one of the games that they want to have everybody ready to play all the time.
T.Ratliff 66% at the free throw line on the year. Had a nice game in New York on Monday. 8 points, 6 rebounds, had the 6 block shots, of course. He also had 6 blocked shots the first time these teams played, and really helped get the Blazers off to that terrific start, as he had several huge blocks early in the game against the Celtics, but misses 2 free throws here. Welsh gets the pick from Chris Mim, who's in. McCarty a wide open 3, and he's way long with it. Stoudamire picks up the rebound.
McCarty shoots a lot of threes, and that means Zach, and who's ever guarding him, is going to have to come out on the perimeter and at least have a hand in his face. Coming back to Z.Randolph. Nice pass.
So T.Ratliff, the aggressive offensive player for Portland tonight. Ratliff 3 for 4 with 6 points.
Even if it's once a month, he will give it up. And so he doesn't want to hear any more of this business about he won't pass the ball as the Celtics take a timeout.
Well, the Blazers have 8 points in the paint so far. That tells you they're getting to the rack, and they lead the Celtics 13-9 here in the first. Draw night complete with beads, courtesy of KXL. Face painters and more. The Warriors come into town Wednesday, April 7th. Tickets for all the upcoming games available now at the Rose Quarter Ticket Office, all Ticketmaster locations. Call the number on your screen or log on to Blazers.com. Well, Darius Miles got Portland off to that nice start, very aggressive offensively.
Well, Miles said we're all focused, and we know what that means with Miles, playing above the rim. Did a terrific job of making the block and then attacking. So, and I don't know whether he got nicked up on the block and had to come out, but he looks like he's okay as Ruben Patterson is in the game. It's going to be a tight rotation tonight for Cheeks and his squad, so he might want to keep everybody fresh.
Well, look at points in the paint. Blazers 8 early, and 5 field goals made. 4 of them have been right at the rim, or as we've seen a couple of times, above the rim. Chris Mim had it knocked away. Patterson picks it up. Portland breaking. Pierce riding the back of Patterson down the sideline, but Portland in control now. And here is Ruben against Paul Pierce. Skip pass to D.A. Anderson in trouble, throws it away. McCarty has it for Boston. Here's Atkins. Pierce thought about the 3. Yuri Welsh will take it. Short with it. Zach, a nice rebound inside, and a nice box out on McCarty. D.A. goes inside to Ratliff. Theo working against Chris Mim. His fadeaway jumper off. Patterson tips it in.
Boston is not boxing out, and that's the reason that Ruben Patterson was able to get that running start and finish that play.
Offensive foul call. Chris Mim, the illegal pick on Ruben Patterson, trying to free up Paul Pierce. And that's a matchup and that could be the bigger reason why Darius Miles was taken out, is they certainly like Patterson on Paul Pierce. Blazers got off to a nice start in New York Monday, and they're off to another nice start here tonight. Anderson thought about the 3. Patterson tried to feed Z.Randolph down low. Walter McCarty stepped in front. Here's Welsh.
Patterson, like Ruben Patterson, did not have a clear-cut idea of what he wanted to do once he got the ball, and ended up trying to make a play that wasn't there. Field, Pierce.
Atkins for 3, good. 6 Blazer turnovers here in the first 7 minutes of the game. Anderson trying to go on Welsh. Stoudamire fake the 3. 5 to shoot. D.A. pulls the trigger over Welsh. And here's Atkins for Boston. Another 3.
Atkins is streaky and always has a lot to say, and so off of that effort, he comes up with a little talk on the way back.
Boston's defense, again, late and really getting set, and Anderson just says, hey, I'll take off and take baseline then, and he'll shoot 2 free throws.
They thought a timeout was coming, but this is Chucky Atkins on the fly, and you got to get to him because once he's made one, he's going to be looking to shoot them all night long. So the defensive assignment is going to be a lot tougher for Damon and whoever else replaces him.
Ricky Davis into the ball game for Boston. Ricky, of course, coming over in that trade with Cleveland back on December 15th.
Anderson 1 of 2.
Mim right to the rack, jams with 2 hands, and he is fouled. The foul goes to Z.Randolph.
Problem for Portland is allowing the ball to move, so they're not really getting to the ball, and then when they have a screening situation reacting late, Mim a chance for a 3-point play. And Chris Mim is starting to play much better after a couple of years of struggling in Cleveland, and even in the start of the season with Cleveland, he's playing a lot better.
Well, we talked about the good start for Portland. Just like that, the lead is gone. Boston on top by 1. 4:08 left in the first quarter on Fox Sports Net. The Blazers pay a no-interest monthly investment plan. Get the best seats and special playoff ticket pricing. Call 503-797-9600 or visit Blazers.com. Oh, we talked about the turnovers early for Portland. The Aflac trivia question, as they are indeed checking the rim. As there's the sledgehammer guy. We saw them in New York the other night. And here they're saying, is that rim indeed crooked?
Now, the rim isn't crooked. They're saying that the standard is off.
Well,
you can't have a crooked rim if they're hitting the bottom of the standard.
What I mean is the result of the crooked standard is a unlevel rim.
That is the best explanation of a crooked rim I've ever heard.
So Garcia Parra down there working the wood.
They're trying to center. This would be the best word we could find. They're trying to center the rim.
All right. And they got about 14 guys down there. So this is going to get done. Well, let's get to the Aflac trivia question while we wait. In 1970-71, the Blazers set a franchise record for the most turnovers in one game, and that was against Boston. How many turnovers do you think they made on that night? And it isn't pretty. And here's the standings. Portland with their loss on Monday to New York. They fall in a half game out. Utah plays tonight at home against New Orleans.
Well, again, it just comes down to winning the games every night out. And, you know, Utah's going to lose a game. Denver's going to lose a game somewhere along the way, and you've got to be in a position to take advantage of that loss. And on Monday night, Portland was not.
How's that look to you?
You don't look at it from the bottom. Nobody shoots from the bottom.
You see Boston on an 8-1 run. The crooked rim, the big reason why, I'm sure.
Off center. The rim is not crooked.
What was Gary Benson saying to you?
You don't get to tell everybody every conversation.
All right, Blazer ball. We approach the 4-minute mark here in the first. It's been an interesting day in Boston, and it continues into the evening.
Boston goes zone. Nice tip, T.Ratliff.
And if that rim hadn't been centered, I'm not sure we'd have gotten that bounce. McCarty all the way to the rack. Ratliff blocks it with 2 hands. Mim gets it over Theo.
The unfortunate thing is that ball bounced away from the Trailblazers after a terrific play by Ratliff.
Anderson with it. Shot clock at 5. Ratliff to the rack. Dunks with 2 hands. Celtics wanted to travel. Nothing doing. Pierce out to McCarty. Another three from McCarty. This one's off as well. Rebound, Anderson for Portland. Z.Randolph lost the ball. 7th turnover for Portland. Atkins in transition. Another three.
If you see Chucky Atkins play either in Orlando or Detroit, when he's been allowed to play and get a streak going at the offensive end, he is going to be a dangerous guy, and he's made 3 in a row. He'll be looking to score all night long.
D.A. along 2 hits. And a good battle inside by Z.Randolph and T.Ratliff inside. Up against Pierce and McCarty. T.Ratliff with 10 points. Z.Randolph has yet to score. How about that?
Well, he's yet to take a shot. How about that?
Foul on Ratliff. He pushed from behind.
I mean, I go with Zach. You can't score if you don't shoot, and so Zach has got to get in this ball game if Portland wants to win. They need his ability to score inside, and at some point they're going to have to shake him loose. Brandon Hunter should be somebody's defensive end. He's big, he's solid.
The rookie out of Ohio U. How about Lindsey Hunter, or Chucky Atkins again, excuse me. They got Lindsey Hunter in the same trade. He was waived. Here's Randolph, left block. Patterson, the cutter baseline, missed the shot. Rebound Chris Mim, who affected that Patterson attempt. Here's Ricky Davis. Tried to pass to Mim. I think hit it in the back of the head. Stoudamire picks it up. D.A. lobs it up to Rubin. Too high. Blazers turn it over for the 8th time. Davis. Nice pass to Hunter down low.
The good thing about turning the ball over is that Boston will also give you a chance to get it back, so the turnovers may not hurt Portland as much. Damon with a miss from deep.
Atkins in transition. Atkins all the way through the middle. Ratliff goes down hard. He's okay. He came down on Atkins. They're still in a heap. Randolph running the fast break. Gets to the hoop and missed the shot. Blazers shooting 53% but missing several right at the rack. Pierce for 3. Long 2.
Pierce is signaling 3. They're telling him it's 2. And now he understands. He steps on the line.
Well, the Celtics 6 more field goal attempts here in the first than Portland as we're inside 30 seconds. 17-7 Boston run is what it is right now. And they've got a 4-point lead, their biggest. Anderson dives to get it back, then threw it away. Atkins lobs to Davis. Randolph against Hunter. Zach's got to put it up. He's got no time. And he hits at the buzzer. But a quarter that started perfectly for Portland ends terribly with the exception of the
Today, I think guys are going to be very much out of their element. Try not to sit on the fly rod. We'll be stretching them a little bit. You know, this is not something you learn in 15 minutes. All right, Sharif, you the man.
I don't think I fit out there on this thing right here.
Yeah.
When they made these little things, they wasn't thinking of me.
Feeling good about things?
Who?
You.
I'm definitely out of my comfort zone.
Well, tonight on the Northwest Sports Report, we'll have post-game reaction from this game, plus Mariners highlights and high school All-American basketball with Marvin Williams in action. It's all tonight right here on Fox Sports Net. Well, the Blazers shoot 56% in that first quarter, but Boston ends the quarter with 6 more field goal attempts, thanks in large part to 9 Portland turnovers. into the paint for Portland, 16-8, but the Celtics going deep as Chucky Atkins. They've talked about how he's taken some pressure off Paul Pierce because he is a shooting guard. But T.Ratliff off with a nice start in the first quarter for Portland.
Well, early in the ball game, T.Ratliff was giving Portland bonus points by going to the bucket, tipping the ball in, just being active, and good things happened for Theo and the Blazers, and at that point it looked like it was going to be a cakewalk for Portland, but things have changed because of the turnovers and the transition points that the Celtics have been able to get.
It was 9 turnovers, though, for Portland in the first. Ricky Davis gets some space. His high arcing 2 is good. And Boston certainly likes to get it up and down the floor. They end up the first quarter with 10 fast break points to Portland's 4. The Blazers like to play at that pace, or can they play at that pace with Boston? Sharif Abdur-Rahim in the game for Portland, along with E.Gill. Abdur-Rahim loses that. Pierce for 3. Missed the shot, and the rebound to E.Gill. And Darius Miles back in as well. Miles against Pierce. Defensive 3 seconds inside on Chucky Atkins, who is sagging below the foul line.
I was outside. Watch the film. That's his commentary on it, but Derek Anderson will get a shoot a free throw. Against the Celtics defense, Portland wants to move the ball, move themselves quicker. Don't take so long to make a decision whether you're going to drive it, shoot it, or pass it. Atkins laying off of the primary ball handler right away, so you're going to get a chance to get into the offense.
Anderson hits, top of the key.
And Portland will have to identify the guy with the ball early so that their defense can get set up and make Boston play further out on the floor.
Atkins goes on E.Gill, missed the shot. Abdur-Rahim a chance at the rebound, but Gill gets it. 3-on-2 Portland. Miles right side, lays it up and in. Nice move to avoid Paul Pierce. D.A. the near steal. Then from Ricky Davis, who didn't see him coming, D.A. just tipped it off the backboard to Boston. One-point game. Ricky Davis looking to go on D.A. Davis elbow jumper's good.
Ricky Davis is a terrific athlete and can really play when his mind's in the game, and you're never sure where his mind is, but he's got a good medium range jump shot. Ratliff trying to bust through, but can't control it.
Theo feeling as though he was whacked on the arm as Dale Davis will check in for Theo Ratliff. Still a nice start for Theo in the ball game. As Ratliff just given the 1 block shot in the first quarter, we certainly had him for 2. As Davis has it out top of the Celtics. Pulls the trigger over D.A. way off with this one. Rebound Abdur-Rahim.
You know, as Z.Randolph only got 1 shot in the first half. Another steal by Paul Pierce. They've got to get Rahim into the game as well. Pierce all the way to the rim, and that's a Pierce special right there. If you don't stop him early in transition, he will get all the way to the rim and get the foul. Usually he gets a 3-point play. That one fell back.
The foul on Sharif Abdur-Rahim, as you see the turnover by E.Gill trying to give it to Darius Miles in the corner.
Pierce is a terrific passing lane defender, so you've got to be aware of where Paul Pierce is when you start a play or start to make a pass. He jumps in there very quickly, and he's already done it a couple times here in the first 14 minutes.
Pierce 1 of 2. The Blazers already in this game have 12 turnovers. They had 13 in the entire ball game at New York. And Portland averaging 15 turnovers a ball game on the season.
And those 12 turnovers were costly, though, because it allowed Boston to get second opportunities. Anderson deep.
Shot missed. They go in transition just like that. 3-on-1. Hunter missed the lay-in. Dale Davis, the rebound for Portland. Blazers back the other way with numbers. Miles, great crossover on Pierce, and he jams.
Now you see him, now you don't. He has been very Houdini-like tonight.
Blazers back within 2. Frantic pace here at the Fleet Center tonight. And this is the first of a back-to-back for Portland. They head to Philadelphia following this game. We have the Sixers and Blazers tomorrow night again right here on Fox Sports Net. Pierce, baseline cutter is Davis, excuse me. Atkins has it now against the shot clock. And Abdur-Rahim, the rebound for Portland. DA, the cutter is Abdur-Rahim.
That play has been there all night for Portland to have one of their big guys cutting down the lane right at the rim. Rahim gets his first 2. So for Portland, the pressure starts on the ball, and E.Gill and Damon both have to stop retreating with Chucky Atkins. A D2 for Ricky Davis. Davis has got a small torch in his hand. He's trying to get some bigger flames, but he's getting aggressive offensively.
8 points in 8 minutes. E.Gill picks up the dribble. DA to the hoop, partially blocked, got it right back, missed the lay-in. Davis missed the tip, then tips it in again on the 3rd attempt. So 12 of Portland's 15 field goals now in the paint. So that's where they're doing their damage, obviously. And that's why they're shooting 56%. And Ricky Davis knocked to the floor and a foul called on D.Anderson. 7:15 left first half. We're tied at 35 on Fox Sports Net. To 2 p.m. at the Rose Garden. Raffle tickets will be given to all donors and great prizes will be awarded. Appointments are strongly recommended. Visit Blazers.com for details. Well, Portland 12 turnovers. Is that a result of sloppy play or good defense by Boston?
Well, some of it is sloppy play and poor decision making. When you hand the ball to a guy in the passing lane, that's not good. Right there, good defensive effort by Ricky Davis, and then turning it back over. So I think that Portland has been trying to pass through some arms, and it's led to some of the turnovers. And then when you try to make too many great plays, too many highlight plays, you end up making a mistake, and you end up paying for it. This is still a simple game, and if you make these simple and obvious plays, you'll keep the turnovers down.
And Boston only 5 turnovers so far in the ball game. They have 10 assists as well. Portland with the 12 turnovers, and fortunately Boston has only cashed them in for 10 points.
Marcus Banks is now in for Chucky Atkins, so the perimeter defense could be a little bit tighter on the ball without the threat of getting a shot taken by Chucky Atkins.
Dale Davis grabs the Ricky Davis miss. Davis certainly gets his money's worth when he checks into the ball game. Darius Miles has been the hot Blazer. He fades inside. He was bumped and hit the shot.
Miles with 12 in a ball game, 6 in the first quarter, and it was a short run in the first quarter of just 4 minutes. So he had 6 points in 4 minutes and seems to be able to do anything he wants going toward the rim. Good defense, Ruben Patterson against Ricky Davis.
Thanks. Drops it down, near steal by Patterson, and he stepped out of bounds and didn't have himself established inbounds. But Portland, they've gotten 22 points combined from Ratliff and Miles, 3 points combined so far from Stoudamire and Randolph.
Well, Zach has only taken 1 shot. Now, I want you to lighten up on Zach until he gets that Gatling gun going.
Well, Damon has only taken 1 as well.
Portland on a nice run, 15-7 as Pierce gets Ruben Patterson up in the air, and that is 3. This is a yo-yo game and bouncing back by one to Boston Celtics. So let's see how Portland attacks them. If they move the ball via the air, they almost seem to be able to get any shot going to the rim. It's when they dribble it, they get in trouble.
Patterson with 3 on the clock knocks down the 15-footer.
Paul Pierce, what is my name? Ruben Patterson. Score again.
E.Gill out bodying Marcus Banks. Here's Davis. Cross-court pass. Three-pointer in the corner. Good by Walter McCarty.
Now, the one thing the Celtics do is they throw it over the top of the defense to get the three. Raheem.
Rebound pulled down by Pierce, and Boston had a chance to run. Banks was out alone, and here's Ricky Davis. Boston letting the threes fly, 4 of 12 already, and a foul called inside. They're trying to get Mark Blunt rolling to the hoop. The foul will go on Sharif Abdur-Rahim, his second. So Boston on top by 2. You're watching the Blazers on Fox Sports Net. "24 friends to take over the Trailblazers private practice facility for a Blazers dream party, while at Taco Bell try the new Fiesta Taco Salad. Taco Bell, think outside the bun."
Does that mean they also get to play their own game while they're having that party?
Oh, I'm sure. There are 2 full courts inside the Blazers practice facility. There's Dennis Johnson, Blazer assistant coach and advanced scout. DJ, of course, was a head coach last year with the Clippers for the final 24 games of the season. There is his number, which is retired here. And John Carroll is the interim head coach of Boston. And with Danny Ainge here now, a lot of people have been talking about perhaps Dennis Johnson being the new head coach of the Celtics come next season. Do you see that happening, Steve Jones?
No, you know, Larry Bird and Dennis Johnson were tied. Dennis Johnson and Danny Ainge weren't tied. So you can forget about that. You know, some of this getting a coaching job has to do with likability. And if the boss don't like you, you don't get a shot.
John Carroll in his 7th season with this Boston team, and is carrying the title right now of interim head coach as they lob it up to Davis out of the timeout, and a nice play as he was wide open.
Well, you got to catch it before you dunk it, and so he had problems with the catch, and the spectacular dream finish that he had went away.
If he just tries to throw it down straight, he probably does, as Abdur-Rahim drives to the rack, reverses it up and in. Nice English on the ball by Sharif. The Blazers have tied the game at 41.
Well, Paul Pierce is nicked up a little bit. We just had a picture of him holding his shoulder, but he's a tough guy. He'll probably be back before it's all said and done.
Blount gets to the hoop and puts it in. As the Ricky Davis miss, followed by the Blount hoop. Blount and Davis got into it. Recently at practice, Blount has said several times he doesn't like the hot doggy play by Ricky Davis, and here's a foul on Portland. Darius Miles trying to get the ball back, but again, a lazy pass by Portland and turnover number 13.
Not a good angle and really not good position to try to make the entry pass by D.Stoudamire. And that's some of the carryover from New York, where they did not have good passing lanes to enter to the big people or people playing down in the post area.
Blazers go small now. Dale Davis checks out, Z.Randolph in. So Sharif Abdur-Rahim will slide over and play the 5. Zach guarding Mark Blount, and a steal out top, but it's a foul instead on Ruben Patterson.
Anytime you reach across, you know, your chances of getting away with the steal and you made a clean poke, the call is going to go to the opponent.
And Portland now in the penalty. Ricky Davis at the free throw line. Davis came to the Celtics, of course, from Cleveland, along with Chris Mihm and Michael Stewart. And that was the trade that sent Tony Batiste, Kedrick Brown, and Eric Williams to Cleveland.
Well, Davis had his best NBA season a year ago. A terrific offensive threat, but he plays his own game, and that's what makes it difficult for coaches, and they're trying to integrate Ricky Davis in to what they like to do, and as long as they're playing open, it's a good opportunity. Good pressure by Banks.
Near steal out top, Patterson, as Davis tips it away and then chases it out of bounds. So Portland will inbound with 7 on the shot clock, and the crowd liking the hustle of Ricky Davis. And boy, Stoudamire being hounded out top by Banks, and Patterson a near foul on Davis, and Portland can't buy a call, but now they do get one as Miles takes it to the hoop, and Boston has called for their first team foul of the second with 3:43 left.
Attacking Darius Miles at the line. And one of the ways you beat that on-the-ball pressure is pass the ball and cut. Don't try to dribble through it. Don't try to dribble around it. These guys are doing a pretty good job of sticking and staying, and they're moving their feet, keeping their hands up. 1 of 2 for Miles. 7 in the quarter, 13 in the game.
Davis again against Patterson. Pick comes from McCarty. He's left wide open for a 3 and is long with it. Rebound inside. Banks with it to Yuri Welsh.
Well, they're telling to clear out. They wanted Davis to go against Sharif, and it ended up in a 3-point field goal for McCarty.
The 5th three-pointer for Boston, 5 of 14. Portland 0 for 3 from behind the line. Blazers shooting 58% in this ball game, yet they trail by 5.
Well, you got to keep attacking. I mean, if Boston is going to keep giving you the inside stuff, you're eventually going to get the lead on the scoreboard.
2:49 left here in the first half. Again, Celtics by 5. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
I decided to make some serious changes. And now chicken McNuggets are made with white meat. If they can change for the better, so can I.
It's all about the bling bling, baby.
25 years ago, when Landmark Ford first opened its doors, the staff understood that if you treated customers the way you'd like to be treated yourself, then good things would happen. And they have. Today, our sales consistently rank in the top 2% in the entire country. And the award-winning Landmark parts and service departments have become the largest in the Northwest. So come see us. We're just off I-5 at the Haines Street exit. Landmark Ford, where good things do happen.
Upcoming events at the Rose Quarter include Rod Stewart at the Rose Garden. That's this Friday. The Wiggles at the Garden, April 9th and 10th. And David Bowie, who played this building last night, will be in Portland at the Rose Garden, April 13th. Tickets available at the Rose Quarter ticket office and all Ticketmaster outlets, or go to rosequarter.com. Time to check out our G.I. Joe's action stats now. G.I. Joe's, we don't sell action figures, we create them. As Portland with the advantage in rebounds. I mentioned they're shooting 58%, but look at the steals. Boston 11-3. And, of course, the number you don't see on there, the turnovers. Portland 13 turnovers to Boston's 5.
Well, the steals neutralize that effort they have on the glass, so they got 4 on the clock out of this timeout.
Damon, they do say it was a 3 attempt, and that makes Portland 0 for 4 from behind the three-point line. McCarty back score goes Davis. Darius Miles bought the fake that time and was left outside by himself. Miles threw it away. Was it tipped? They're going to say Portland ball. I don't believe that was touched by a Celtic, because we had a pretty good angle. We're sitting where we are.
Celtics on an 11-3 run to give them a 7-point advantage. 2:11 to go in the game. Let's see if Portland can come up with the score in this possession. The last couple of possessions fairly ragged. Raheem.
Sharif gets the runner to fall and makes it a 5-point game again. Less than 2 left first half. Davis to Banks out top. 5 to shoot. Yuri Welsh to catch at the foul line. Tries to put it up over Abdul Rahim. Sharif got a piece of it, and Portland with it. And they turn it over. Banks to Blount. Left block over Randolph. Missed the shot. Rebound Anderson for Portland. Blazers back with a running opportunity. Here's Miles. Darius a step through. High arcing shot is good. Didn't necessarily want to take the shot, but saw he had one, and Darius has 15. 6 for 7 for Darius. Ricky Davis. Rebound. Zach tips to Damon. Less than a minute left first half. Anderson thought about the 3. Sharif down low to Randolph, spins it up and in. So just like that, despite the 14 turnovers, Portland back within 1.
Well, what it tells us is that Portland passes the ball, they will find someone open. If they dribble the ball, they end up turning it over, trying to catch up with Banks. And he gets it right back.
Oh, Banks fortunate to get the ball back, and he got it back again. Now they can hold for the final shot. The ball was tipped right back to Banks.
Well, the guy that can get his own shot is Ricky Davis. He's asking Banks for the ball. Banks waved him off. I got this, he said. And he does.
Blazers send Darius long, lays it up. No! At the horn. Well, the Blazers end up shooting 58% in that first half, but not much else went right for Portland, as Boston, winners of 3 straight and 11 of their last 15, trying to break a 4-game Blazer winning streak here in Boston. Coming up, the Sports Update.
Whether an electrical job is large or small, it's important to get the job right the first time. That's why the switch to Safeboard.
Darius Miles, the leading scorer in the game with 15. Theo also in double figures. You see D.A., you see Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Z.Randolph, 4 points in that first half. D.Stoudamire, 1 point in that first half as we go to the Southwest Airlines NBA scoreboard tonight.
Orlando. And Tracy McGrady will be out for at least the next 5 games. He's on the IR. Washington taking advantage of no Kid, no Martin, have a halftime advantage. Miami has crawled on top of Atlanta, but that one is a long way from over because Atlanta showed us by that overtime, double overtime what they had with Memphis, that they're going to score some points. Indiana, big advantage at the break, and they just lost to Milwaukee, so they're trying to get even. The Clippers and Detroit a 1-point advantage. Golden State up tied at the start of the second quarter.
Well, we mentioned, well, you see the other games coming up later. Seattle and Minnesota just getting underway, and Sacramento, San Antonio, and Utah again hosting New Orleans. A lot of Blazer fans, as we mentioned, here in the building tonight, and a lot of young Blazer fans, I think, among the college set, especially here in these prestigious universities in the Boston area, a lot of Blazer fans.
There are a lot of Blazer fans. Surprisingly, when you consider just how steeped in tradition the Boston Celtics are around this joint.
Well, you see the Blazers record when trailing at halftime. And you saw the scores a moment ago. Portland will certainly be New Orleans fans tonight as the Hornets take on Utah in Salt Lake City. Blazers playing the first of a back-to-back tonight. They take on the Philadelphia 76ers tomorrow night in Philadelphia. We leave after this ball game for Philadelphia. And tomorrow night's game again right here on Fox Sports Net. So the Blazers 14 turnovers in that first half. And they have a rebounding advantage, and of course, we mentioned they shoot 58%. What has to change here in the second?
You got to take better care of the basketball. You got to make better decisions. You don't turn the ball over that many times and shoot the ball that well and not understand that you've done something wrong because you should have a big lead.
Celtics will get it first to start the second. Paul Pierce, 11 points.
Well,
tied for high point with Ricky Davis.
They come back with the same starting lineup: Atkins, Pierce, Welch, McCarty, and Blunt. And T.Ratliff thought he had a steal. That was just laid up there.
McCarty for three, short with it. Pierce had the rebound. D.A. took it away. Portland out 4-on-2. D.A. lobs it up. Nobody home. Zach being hounded on the baseline, and it's taken away from him by Uri Welch. Pierce for three. That's short and off, and Anderson is the guy flying around grabbing the rebounds for Portland.
As long as you have somebody coming back to get those long misses, you're in good shape against the Celtics in terms of their quick three-point shooting. They put a lot of three-point shots up, so you got to be prepared to rebound. Trying to get Z.Randolph started here at the top of the third quarter. He got very few opportunities in the first half of play.
And that was just Zach's fourth field goal attempt of the ball game. Pierce with Miles on him. Miles gives him the middle. Ratliff comes to help and kicks it to Blount, who misses the jumper.
The Celtics take a lot of jump shots, and you want to take advantage of that. And Portland has to make sure that they've got people inside to rebound the basketball.
Damon working against Atkins. Cannot penetrate. Miles takes an 18-footer and hits it.
Miles is telling everybody, it's my party.
17 for Darius.
On 7 of 9 shooting, so he's had a very efficient night. Atkins short.
The rebound of T.Ratliff.
The Celtics start an 0 for 4 start, and Portland has a chance to grab the lead with this possession. But again, the key is to get that ball moving via the air.
McCarty comes out to check Damon. He finds an open Miles. Again a jumper. Baseline. He hits another one. Miles 8 for 10. 19 points in the game.
Portland with a 1-point advantage, and you'd like to see pressure on the ball. Don't let the Celtics move the ball. Steals Miles.
Miles and McCarty. He throws it down.
Did I say it's my party?
21 for Darius.
Celtics fans don't like that head bob, whatever they want to call it. They got the bullhorns. They're not happy with it. Miles is about to lose his shorts, but has not affected his game.
Pierce kicks it out to McCarty. Darius is down inside. McCarty takes out the shot blocker Ratliff, and that leaves an open pass to the hoop inside for Blount. And Darius up slowly after that, and he's all right. You see the Portland run.
The Miles run.
Zach waving that ball out there. Atkins just times it and takes it away. Uri Welch out to Atkins. Welch drives inside, flips it up over the top of Ratliff and gets it to fall. Boston back on top by 1.
Atkins has done a surprisingly good job of containing D.Stoudamire. Damon's having a tough time getting around him. 5 on the clock for Z.Randolph.
There's Zach hits from the field, and maybe that'll get him started, as that's really the first jumper Zach has hit or shot outside the paint. As a spinning move by Pierce the other way. Ratliff might have gotten a piece of it. It still went in, and a nice move by Paul Pierce.
That's a Paul Pierce special. The strength that Pierce has and the ability to change directions make him a real tough guy to shut down.
Back and forth we go. Celtics back on top by 1. Here's Stoudamire again, hounded by Atkins.
They're missing Zach on the run. Zach is wide open. He's begging for it. Please let me have it.
And Zach's starting to get it going now. That's from about 15 feet on the baseline. Blazers back by 1.
Portland has made their last 5, so offensively they've got a good run going, which keeps that percentage up. I mean, you come out of the half shooting 58%. You got to feel that somehow you're going to find a way to win the game. Atkins down.
Miles all over him. Here's Wells for 3. Short with it. Another rebound to D.Anderson. Portland looks to push.
Watch out.
Miles down the middle. Run into. He flipped it up and didn't get the shot to fall, but he will shoot free throws as he had a full head of steam heading down that lane.
Well, he was timing his position with D.Anderson as everyone else was ahead of him. Anderson spotted him in a quick foray to the hoop, puts him at the line, but it has been a Darius Miles quick start here at the top of the 3rd period to get Portland back in the ball game.
Miles 3 for 5 so far tonight at the free throw line. And everything has fallen for him so far here tonight.
Look down there and tell me, is that rim crooked?
No, that one's fine. So Portland was at an unfair advantage early in this ball game with a crooked rim. And the officials with a delay here as they overhear you and check the rim, but it's fine. And Miles 2 for 2. And the Blazers on top by 3. Their largest lead has been 6. Boston's largest lead has been 7. Steal, Ratliff. Stoudamire for 3. No, it rims out. Ratliff follow home.
Only fitting that Ratliff, who made the steal, got a chance to finish as Portland put some pressure on. Surprise Boston, they get an offensive foul. Paul Pierce.
Pierce felt Stoudamire coming and just pushed him away with the forearm, and Danny Crawford all over the play. Whistles Pierce for the offensive foul.
So Ratliff made the push, and then Damon with the quick pop. Pops out. Ratliff on the finish. Ratliff is having a very good night. He is 7 for 8.
Stoudamire wants to go against Atkins. Gets all the way to the hoop. His high arcing shot is off. Tip home, yes, by Randolph. Ratliff started it and kept it alive. This is Portland's largest lead. John Carroll and Boston, they want time. Blazers 64, Celtics 57. You're watching the Blazers on Fox Sports Net. Available at the Rose Quarter Ticket Office, all Ticketmaster locations. Call the number on your screen or visit Blazers.com. Aflac trivia question. Blazers, back in 70-71, set a franchise record for the most turnovers in one game. That was against Boston. How many? 40. 40 turnovers against the Celtics. They got 16 tonight. That seems like a lot. Darius Miles in the 3rd.
It was Miles out of the shoot very quickly for Portland, making perimeter shots, dancing to the rim, making things happen. And when Miles is playing with this kind of authority, it's bad news for the opponent. The story tonight is what Portland is doing on the glass. They have a 15 rebound advantage, 33 to 18. So they've been doing a good job of one and done as Anderson steps in for a steal.
Well, Ricky Davis tried the cross-court pass. Boston is 28 in the NBA in rebounding.
But you would think with that plus edge on rebounding and the fact that they're shooting such a high percentage, they would really be ahead. But they've given the ball away. They have no control of Darius Miles, 10 1/4.
It's 18-6 Portland in this quarter. And since Boston took their largest lead of 7 at 49-42, Portland's on a 24-8 run. Mark Blount through the middle. In the corner to Pierce for 3. That's off. Hits the side of the board. And Miles feels it.
Well, the one thing that Miles knows is get to the other end of the floor. If you get there before the opponent, you have a chance to do that. And Z.Randolph comes with 2 hands, 8 1/4 for Zach. He said, Zach, if you run with me, I'll get you some candy.
Make it a 26-8 late run for Portland. 12-0 and a 20-second timeout for the Celtics.
But Pierce is a deep miss. And the ball bounces right to Miles, and look at Miles just push it, and nobody stops the ball. If you don't stop the basketball, bad things happen to you. Bang with two hands. Zach said, you know what? I like this running game.
Well, Darius Miles, his Blazer high was 21. His career high is 26. He's got 25 now, and we've got 5.5 left here in the third.
Well, now there's a good stat right there. Darius Miles, 10 of 12, and his average distance for his shot is 2.4 feet, so he's right at the rim. His office is open.
And that is a typical Miles bucket in this ballgame.
So they have not been able to contain Miles. Since that quick start in the first 4 minutes of the game, he has been the guy that's got the torch in his hand.
Ricky Davis down low. Blount got some room and a foul on the floor by Z.Randolph from the backside.
That's a good foul by Zach. Blount was right at the rim, was probably going to get a chance to go up and throw it down, so they will have to inbound the basketball. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
First team foul on Portland.
The Celtics have scored just 6 points here in the quarter, so it's been 2 and few for them after a couple of good scoring quarters.
Atkins tried to lob to Davis. It was too high, and they turn it over.
They must have thought they had Darius Miles on their team.
Miles would have got that and threw it down and had room to spare.
But right now, the Celtics, who had done such a good job of stopping Portland from moving the ball or allowing them to almost do what they want, and that's creating some problems.
Damon a move. Ratliff came to the rebound, but a nice box out by Blount, who got it. Here's Atkins in the open floor. Stoudamire trying to take it away. Atkins down the middle. McCarty for three. That snaps a 12-0 Portland run, and three-pointers were the reason Boston had the lead at halftime.
McCarty picks up his third. He is 3 of 7. And again, Boston doesn't understand, a lot of teams don't, that shoot three-pointers. You win the game by scoring more twos than the opposition. That's what Portland has done here in the third.
Miles had it poked away. Damon, 3 to shoot. First three. Yes, he gets it right back.
He didn't want to shoot it, but he knew he wasn't going to have enough time to dribble it. That was a long-distance effort from Damon.
That's Damon's first field goal of the night.
Portland's done a good job of making it difficult for them to find Paul Pierce.
McCarty again. This time it's short. Nice box out by Ratliff, and Z.Randolph chases down the rebound.
This is not the 22-0 start that they had in Portland, but it's very similar and discouraging to the Celtics right now because they don't seem to be able to score it at the offensive end. Randolph.
Well, Damon with the shot clock winding down from deep.
Maybe that's what he needed. He needed to be further back, too strong.
Blazers 67% here in the third quarter. They're 61% for the game. Ricky Davis trying to go on D.A. D.A. gives in the middle.
Rapper scores here in the third quarter. But they've been able to hold down Pierce and hold down Davis here in the third quarter to take advantage of the scoreboard, and they've cut that down. Zach with the save, he's got 10 in the quarter.
Will they give Ratliff the assist there? That's the question. I don't think so, as that should have been a turnover, but it ended up in the hands of Zach. Ricky Davis trying to come back. D.A. was hit in the face. He's all right. McCarty now has it out top. Davis wants Anderson again. D.A. Atkins in the corner for three. And he talks to the Blazer bench after the three.
Oh, he's always had a lot to say. That might be part of the reason that he ends up getting on the bench a lot with his coaches, because he does like to talk.
Yeah, but you're Chucky Atkins. 73-65 Portland. 2:06 left in the third. to 7 rebounds, and Stoudamire with 4 assists here in the third quarter and 6 on the night. Boston trying to hang around, though, as they cut it back to an 8-point game. As three-pointers, as I mentioned a moment ago, a big reason why they had the halftime lead, and three-pointers keeping them in the game now, 7 for 20.
Well, they're keeping them close. You know, when you're down 8 to 10 points, you're still in an NBA contest, and when you're struggling to make shots and making as many mistakes as they've made here in the third quarter, yes, Portland should be ahead by a greater margin, but give the Celtics some credit for making the threes.
Well, the Blazers led by as many as 10 at New York on Monday several times, and I recall saying the same thing. It seems like Portland should be up more. Stoudamire for 3. Now they're up 3 more as Damon drops that home, and it's an 11-point Blazer lead. Atkins looking to go on Stoudamire. Pierce. Miles gives Pierce the middle. He challenges Ratliff, missed the shot. Zebo flies in and grabs the rebound.
Well, you know, they're having thunderous rainstorms outside, and it hasn't affected Portland, but it seems to have affected Ricky Davis and the Celtics.
It's Derek Anderson with the Olay move as Davis went by, and a little continuation as Davis will attempt the three-point play. Was that rain that we heard moments ago on the roof? I thought it was something coming over the PA system. It's rained hard all day, but
you know, last year when we were here, it snowed and rained, so our trips to Boston have not been good weather-wise. Davis with the three-point play. It was messy then, and it's even messier now.
And our poor crew is out in the TV production truck, and it's sitting outside. Miles is sitting on his backside looking for some help, and he just calmly flips it to D.A. Anderson, a deep 2, is off. Ratliff there for the rebound, and it's slapped out of his hands, out of bounds. Portland will have it back.
Portland is shooting 71% in the third quarter. Make it 69.
Under a minute left here in the third. It's been a nice third for Portland. Now they got to close it strong.
Well, it's been a terrific third, and it has been Miles and Randolph leading the way. Damon trying to get into it late, had that one blocked. 11 on the shot clock, and Portland will get another chance to set up.
Miles will inbound. D.A. for 2, yes.
First 2 of this high-scoring third quarter for Derek Anderson. So all of the starters have scored in the quarter. Banks back in, and Banks did a good job defensively against the backcourt of Portland.
30 points here in the third for Portland as Pierce hands to Hunter inside. Hunter gathers himself, missed the shot, but Mark Blount is allowed to come along the right side and put it home.
Well, what happens is that, you know, you're trying to get shot blockers to get to the miss and, I mean, to the shot, and then when it's missed, somebody's on the inside in white that has a chance to tap it away. Portland will hold for their final shot of the third.
Stoudamire is fouled. That was the one that Boston had to give, so Blazers will inbound on the side. The good news is the shot clock is shut off, so Portland can now hold for the final shot. Which that's one of those situations when maybe you don't necessarily give the foul even though you have it to give. 5 seconds. Damon going against Banks. Difficult shot. Threw it up. Zach had a tip on it. Out of bounds. Quarter over. But a 30-point third quarter for Portland, and a big quarter for Darius Miles, who leads all scorers with 25. And the Blazers will carry an 8-point lead to the fourth quarter, needing a victory here on the second game of this 3-game road trip. You're watching the Blazers on Fox Sports Net.
Standard TV and Appliance with over 10,000 appliances in stock. By Les Schwab, if we can't guarantee it, we won't sell it. And by Bank of America, proud sponsors of the Portland Trailblazers.
Well, back here in Boston, inside the Fleet Center. And that's Red Auerbach with his cigar, and not time to light it yet. Now, you take a look at the score by quarters. The Blazers 21st in the NBA in scoring, but they don't look like it here tonight.
Well, they've been able to do what you'd like a team to do, and that's shoot a high percentage. And they've improved their shooting, their field goal percentage in every quarter of this ball game tonight. And so they want to finish with the flurry as Portland sends out Z.Randolph, E.Gill, Darius Miles, Derek Anderson, and T.Ratliff. The Celtics counter with Banks, Pierce, Hunter, Davis, and Blount. Pretty noisy as the quarter begins.
The foul out top on Banks as, boy, every time E.Gill has come in, he has been draped all over him as Miles gives a little help with the pick now.
Well, Banks did a good job against Damon as well. I mean, he does do a good job, of anticipating and moving his feet. 12 on the clock.
Gill step-through move, had to put it up and hit. Nice move by Eddie as he stepped through the double. First 2 points for Eddie. And a foul called the other way. E.Gill can't believe it as much as he has been hounded this entire game. He was simply near Marcus Banks. Picks up the foul, his first. First team foul on Portland. Here's Ricky Davis going against D.A. Hunter, right side, Banks again. Trying to get Mark Blount inside now. Calls for a pick. Here's Blount going to the rack.
Blount has had an efficient game. 5 of 7, gets to 10 with that effort. But they haven't had a lot of stuff going to the rim tonight via the pass.
Miles up and under. Tried to drop it down to Zach and threw it away. Probably should have shot it. Blount comes up with it. Pierce. Fake the three. Didn't want any part of Ratliff. Ricky Davis. Left block. Out to Pierce for three.
You know, there's still plenty of time to play, and you have to remember what got you the lead and play that way, as the Celtics are still dangerous. 5-point game. 8 on the clock.
Miles going against Pierce. Spins. Fades from 15 and hits. Beautiful move by Miles, who now has 27, a new career high for Darius Miles.
Well, certainly this has got to be a career high in numbers, but also in percentage. 11 of 13 to this point in the ball game.
Davis fought off E.Gill, who was trying to tie him up, and he hits a tough shot. Ricky Davis has 18 off the bench.
Trying to find Darius Miles, and so they'll settle for Zach. Zach has had a good third quarter. Let's see what he can do here in the fourth against Hunter.
Cut off right block. Hands to D.A. He tries a three, and it's long, and the rebound tipped around. Zach was there for it. Here's Pierce in the open floor. Trying to cross over. Shot blocked by Ratliff. Blazers back 3-on-2. Randolph, no, but he's fouled, and John Carroll is up off the Boston bench, furious. I don't know why.
Thought it was a goaltend, but this one had not gotten to its apex. Pierce does a great job of fighting his way through, and Ratliff a better job of swatting it away. Now, you've been keeping your unofficial total, so how many did that give you?
2.
That's your unofficial total?
That's official.
Oh, I said unofficial. You got him with about 5.
Oh, the unofficial. I got him with 6.
Oh, see that. That's what happens, home court. You get nothing here.
Kick ball, Mark Blount. Coach Cheeks in front of us. He's getting into it with the Boston fans. As E.Gill right down the middle, lays it up and in. So Eddie has been getting a little more time. Certainly did against New York.
The combo of Z.Randolph and Darius Miles are shooting 78%. They are 24 for 31 to this point in the ball game. Pierce answers, and you cannot let Pierce get the torch because he's a guy that can carry him back single-handedly, and he's known for having tremendous fourth quarters in terms of keeping Boston in the game.
Patterson finds Zach down low. He reverses it up and in with the left. The soft touch with the left hand.
Miles goes in the backcourt. He'll get the defensive assignment of Ricky Davis, and Rudy Patterson's trying to wear Paul Pierce.
Banks off with it. Blount tried to tip. Zach comes up with it. Portland back 4-on-3. They lob it up to Miles for the jam. And Boston throws the ball, and there's a technical foul. Yeah, Danny Crawford. You can't just grab the ball and heave it at the Portland bench. So E.Gill will shoot the technical, and here comes John Carroll, who already has a tee. And right now, people trying to figure out who the technical. Paul Pierce is the Celtic who threw the ball, and he picks up the technical. And John Carroll wanting an explanation. A timeout had been called, and the ball flipped to the end, to Portland's end, and Danny Crawford right behind the play just stepped up and whistled the technical foul. And now we have the timeout. 7:47 left here in the fourth. Blazers on top by 9. You're watching the Blazers on Fox Sports Net.
Portland Trailblazers for over 9 years. By trade, she works in the Human Resources Department. But today, Amy is an artist. Along with Trailblazers staff, she's painting a new mural at the Blazers Boys and Girls Club. To date, Blazers Community Builders employee volunteer teams have completed over 200 community service missions.
Find out how you can help build a better community through volunteerism. Visit blazers.com.
Chevrolet. 36 models to choose from. The biggest and freshest lineup on the road, just in time for spring. Now through March 31st, leave your checkbook at home. Qualified lessees can lease a 2004 Malibu sedan for around $212 a month with zero due at signing. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Call for important lease details. Chevy. Turn the key. Start a revolution. See your participating Northwest Chevy dealer today.
Recently, there have been a lot of articles written about Zach not passing the ball. You see changing his evil ways and giving some candy to Darius Miles. So the two young fellows team up again, and it's been a tremendous run for Randolph and Darius Miles here in the ball game as they continue to torch the Boston Celtics in terms of shooting percentage.
3 assists for Zach in the game to go along with 16 points and 8 rebounds. Zach also 8 for 10 from the field, and you see Darius Miles 12 for 14, 29 points. So you combine Randolph and Miles, you come up with 20 for 24, 83%. E.Gill knocks down the technical foul that was called on Paul Pierce, and now it will be Boston's ball.
There's the big story right there. When you can shoot that kind of percentage with 2-point field goals, you're supposed to win the ball game. Gill sneaking his way up the scoring ladder, has 5 here in the fourth quarter.
Well, and the Blazers 2 for 7 from behind the three-point line. Take away three-pointers. Portland is shooting 67%.
Well, the Celtics are still in the ball game. So, I mean, this is a long way from done. They're going to have to make the Boston Celtics give. It's a 10-point game, and Pierce is very dangerous.
That one's off. Blount, the big offensive rebound. Hands it back to Ricky Davis. He says, my turn. Pass down low. Shot blocked. Don't try it again. You just had the first one blocked. Hunter again. And we'll see if they give Ratliff another block. They certainly should.
Well, he gets one. You want to know if he gets two.
Eddie for a two. He hits out top. Blazers stretch the lead, 91-79.
When he misses, he's Gill. When he makes, he's Eddie, huh?
He's Eddie Gill. Hunter, top of the key. He wants no part of that paint.
He's wide open. And he's, reluctant to shoot the ball. 4 on the clock for Banks and the Celtics. Tip.
Shot clock violation. Boston turns it over. Only their 11th turnover of the game. Ratliff now with 4 block shots, they say, in the game. A couple here.
Well, that's one. And then Hunter's going to get it back and try to go over the top, and Ratliff got a piece of that, so they give him 2. So you're catching up. You're at 8, and they're at 4.
We'll go by mine. 8 block shots for Ratliff. Eddie Gill drops it down low to Theo. Theo in the middle. He's tied up. And we'll see who they put in the circle. If it's going to be Pierce or Blount, it's going to be Blount and Ratliff. Theo should still win it. Boston has won 3 straight games and 11 of their last 15 to climb right back in the playoff chase in the East. And when you add in the tiebreaker situation, they've got Cleveland by 3 games for the 8th spot in the East. And Blount quick jumps and wins that tip. And again, plenty of time left. And Boston, as accurate as they are from behind the three-point line, can get points back in a hurry.
Well, it's a 12-point game. Ratliff tips that one away.
Miles, 3 on 2. Darius down the middle. Finger rolls it up and in. He's got 31.
Is anybody guarding Darius Miles tonight? 13 of 15. Portland has their biggest lead.
Davis trying to go against Miles. Short. Rebound Randolph.
Ricky Davis used to be a teammate of Darius Miles, and he's probably saying, now, that is a little bit too much. I used to own you last year, and you're coming here in my house and throw down these kind of numbers. Portland 71% in the second half.
Eddie Gill. As Damon's getting a long rest. Miles, a long 3. No, that was a little too much to ask. And a shot clock violation, Portland.
Yeah, he knew he was asking for a little too much. You see, he's smiling, and he's looking at his teammates, but he wanted everything. But again, the first rule of basketball is stop it. And with a guy that's athletic and as creative as Darius Miles, you're in trouble if you don't.
His run into the NFL record books. Tony Dorsett, Beyond the Glory, Sunday at 8, right here on Fox Sports Net. And tomorrow night on Fox Sports Net, Blazers take on the Philadelphia 76ers. 4 o'clock Pacific time is the tip. We head to Philadelphia following this ball game here tonight. Blazers at 63% shooting for the ball game. And just 2 for 7 from behind the three-point line. But as you said earlier, you shoot 63% from 2. It shouldn't matter what you do from 3.
Well, again, the secret of winning games in the NBA has always been get more two-point field goals than the opponent. And when you do that, you have a great chance of winning the game. And Boston is trying to catch up via the 3. The percentage is not with you shooting deeper out on the floor. Now, they have all of their three-point shooters out on the floor now. Davis, Pierce, Atkins, and McCarty. Portland with 7 on the clock and a foul against McCarty.
And that'll be Boston's 4th team foul, and we'll put the shot clock back at 14. Is, you know, this being the first of a back-to-back.
3rd team foul for the Celtics.
And this being a back-to-back, nice to get D.Stoudamire, who has played such heavy minutes lately, some rest. And E.Gill doing a nice job and staying in the game. Miles fades, that's short. There's Zach, puts it up, no, tips it in. So with that, Zach has his 41st double-double. 18 points. And now 11 rebounds. And a foul called on E.Gill coming up the floor. An 11-0 Portland run. This is their largest lead of the game. As there is Stoudamire getting a nice break, and he's been a big cheerleader on that Portland bench during this terrific second half for Portland.
Chris Vim comes in the ball game. McCarty will come out, so they'll go with 2 7-footers, Blount and Mim. And
Pilates class about to begin on the Blazer bench. And D.A. says it helps his back to stretch on the ball and I guess even sit on it. Pierce baseline, fouled by Patterson.
Tell you how well Portland has played. They have scored 30 points in the 3rd quarter, and the Celtics have scored a total of 28 for the second half. Oof. And maybe there's something about Boston that gets Portland fired up, but I mean, they had that 22-0 start out in Portland and won that ball game going away. Had that huge lead.
Loose ball foul on Portland. It's going to be on E.Gill. No, excuse me, T.Ratliff. No, and Danny Crawford is saying, as the public address announced that wrong, it is on T.Ratliff. Just trying to help out. Well, Portland's run 4 straight here in Boston, as these teams have split the season series each of the last 3 years, but Boston has played well in Portland as Pierce hits from just inside the foul line.
8 in the quarter for Pierce, 21 on the night. You got a 13-point lead, just under 4 minutes to play, and Portland gets a timeout. Or no, they say E.Gill got knocked out of bounds and just ran out.
And Rodney Mott is telling Maurice Cheeks he just simply stepped out of bounds, but
well, he had some help. He got the little bumps there, but he did just run out of bounds.
There is time left. Pierce wouldn't take the 3. Atkins will. Long with it. Rebound tip and a loose ball foul inside on Portland on Z.Randolph. That's the 3rd foul on Zach.
And that's a 15 foul against Portland, so Blount will go to the free throw line. You know, you've got about 1 minute and 45 seconds to where the game is not in doubt, and so you don't want to allow the clock to stop. You want to make the Celtics have to earn every bucket, and with the time going against them, lead down to 11.
And Portland wants time. Hasn't been easy as of late. 3:45 left here in Boston. Blazers trying to close it out.
After the
Career high 31 points. But an efficient game for Miles, as running the fast break, getting lob passes from Z.Randolph. He's done it all. As Miles came into this game, his Blazer high had been 21. His career high had been 26.
The Blazers are going to see a little bit of pressure from the Celtics. Let's see how they respond as Ricky Davis is trying to steal and whether they stay aggressive, taking the ball to the rim. You don't want to get passive in this situation, and end up working against the clock. 7 on the clock for E.Gill.
Eddie, a high arcing shot goes. And D.Stoudamire was at the scorer's table set to check in, and with that bucket, and that's a new career high for Eddie. Steal. Patterson up ahead. It's Gill again. He lays it in.
11 in the quarter for E.Gill, but they give Ricky Davis a free one coming back the other way.
And a few of the Celtics faithful heading for the chilly night. As Gill will work it up against Ricky Davis. Look at points in the paint, 62 for Portland. Shot clock at 10 and a holding foul on Chucky Atkins, who was hanging on to Darius Miles. Darius trying to post up Atkins.
It's not a good matchup for Chucky Atkins, and whenever Portland sees it, the ball should immediately come to Darius Miles. The Celtics with 14 fouls, so the next play, if Portland is fouled, they will go to the line. 3 on the clock.
Zach against Chris Mihm. He's got to put it up. Zach steps back, flips it up. No. Rebound Pierce. They run Davis long. That's what you don't want to do when you've got a lead trying to close a game out.
Well, Pierce got the technical, but he was actually practicing for this play as this ball comes long, and Pierce right on the money to a streaking Ricky Davis, who completes with a little flare, and Davis has a chance for a three-point play.
And Maurice Cheeks not fully comfortable yet, as he's going to send D.Stoudamire and D.Anderson back in. The Celtics now press. Ruben Patterson says, hey, let's calm down.
Well, it's a 10-point game. What you don't want to do is be stuck out there on the perimeter when you can be passing and attacking the Celtics. So now you're against the clock. 7, the ball's got to go up. Z.Randolph.
Off the glass, no. Rebound Pierce. Plenty of time left for Boston. Pierce spins, pass to himself and traveled. Davis for 3. No. Rebound Pierce. Inside, shot blocked by Ratliff once. Pierce got it back. And a foul called.
Now, right where you love to sit on your living room couch, and you see the little bump by E.Gill from the side. He got caught. And Pierce goes out of bounds. And so he'll go to the line. So Portland wants to make it interesting as Pierce is at the line and a chance to make it an 8-point ball game with a pair.
So if Pierce would have hit the first shot he had on the break, would he have gotten the assist as well?
The first shot?
With the pass to himself that no, is normally called a travel? No.
10 in the quarter for Pierce. So Pierce and Ricky Davis carrying the load. Again, all the Celtics are trying to do is get Portland to stand out here. You want to be attacking the bucket. There's the foul. And they've got 2 big guys out there that cannot handle any kind of drive out on the perimeter. So if you're Portland, you want to be aggressive and attack the rim and pass the ball and cut. Took out the leading scorer in the quarter, E.Gill, 11.
So D.Anderson 2 for 3 at the free throw line tonight.
And the Celtics are on a 12-4 run. And that tells you how quickly things can change with a team that has fast breaking ability and big-time scoring. Well, sitting on that ball must have done something good for D.Anderson. He comes in and makes a free throw.
Well, and Desmond Ferguson comfortable enough to think he can use D.A.'s ball, and Derek's in the game. 2 free throws for Anderson.
So the lead is 10. Minute 33. What you want is time to come off the clock. Make the Celtics have to work to get a score.
Ball knocked away by T.Ratliff. Miles has it, gives to Stoudamire. And the Blazers shooting 61% from the field.
8 on the clock, and again, you want that ball to be going to the rim like that. T.Ratliff over the top, his first 2 of the 4th bucket.
And another assist
of the 4th quarter.
To guess who?
Yeah, who wrote those articles about that?
4 assists for Randolph in the game. They have all been beautiful passes. Ricky Davis inside, nowhere to go, threw it away. Might have gone off Zach's hand. It did. And as you know, Chucky Atkins early in the ball game was terrific. Late here, he has been quiet in the second half, but early it was a steady diet of Atkins.
Well, Atkins was getting wide open shots. Ricky Davis trying to finish with the flourish. He's got 9 here in the quarter. 25 on the night.
And a foul in the backcourt on Chucky. So I think Damon will shoot free throws. Stoudamire, quite offensive night. 2 for 8 shooting and 7 points with a 6 assists. And he got some rest tonight as E.Gill played 17 minutes tonight as the interim coach, John Carroll.
Maybe I don't want this job. That's what he's thinking. Maybe I want another job in the NBA since there's going to be a lot of them available.
And indeed, one of them might be here in Boston. But he has done a nice job with the Celtics. I mean, you talk about the month of March for them. They're 9-4. And this following a 3-9 February. And again, they will most likely, unless something odd happens now, they will most likely make the playoffs in the East.
Proves that luck happens.
And with the injuries in the East, not only to Allen Iverson, and not that they're a factor in the playoffs, but Jason Kidd as well. That's wide open. Ricky Davis down the middle. He'll take some garbage points.
Davis with 11, 27 on the night. An impressive fourth quarter for Ricky Davis, just to keep Boston within shouting distance. And the Celtics have conceded as they stand and watch Portland with this possession. The clock is ticking, 8 on the shot clock for Portland, and just about 27 seconds left in the ball game.
Zach says, I'll take that at the shot clock buzzer, and misses it. Blount the rebound, and what do we have? Technical foul on John Carroll, and he's gone.
Well, he only had 20 more. He only had 20 more seconds to wait anyway, so it didn't really change anything. He knew he was going to get tossed out of the ball game.
And he has some parting shots for Danny Crawford. And is not going quietly yet. And the crowd giving John Carroll a nice hand as he heads for the showers. And Darius Miles,
he missed.
Maybe the well is dry, I'm not sure. Desmond Ferguson's first minutes for Portland.
Miles can't believe I've done everything else so well except make the free throws. He is now 5 of 8 from the line. And he doesn't get many chances to shoot technicals. Portland backing up. Chucky Atkins said, if you back up too far, I'll take it. I need all the points I can get.
And the Blazers get their first victory on this crucial 3-game road trip back east. Coming off a disappointing loss to New York on Monday, they bounce back with a nice convincing win over the Boston Celtics here, shooting 61% to do it tonight, led by Darius Miles, who had 31.
It is cold and wet, but it has been anything but cold and wet for the Trailblazers inside, who shot a terrific percentage for all of this ball game to hand the Boston Celtics a defeat. And Portland has to feel good about their effort. Everyone that played, great job in contributing. So Portland, a terrific run, thanks to the efforts of Darius Miles, and Miles running down and shaking hands with former teammate Ricky Davis. Darius Miles just about ready with Mike Barrett.
All right, Steve, Darius Miles, a career high for you tonight. What was it? I mean, you guys were shooting. You ended up shooting 61% of the game, led by you. You couldn't miss.
I was just playing hard. We needed a win, and Coach said I need to step up my game, and just, he said I can do more than what I've been given, so I just tried to give a little bit more, and it was working today.
And most of your buckets came right at the rack. I mean, you were able to get to the paint. They were not stopping the ball in transition when you had it.
I just wanted to attack and try to at least make Paul Pierce a little bit tired, and you know what I'm saying, make him work a little bit on defense so he couldn't worry about much offense.
We'll talk about the disappointing loss in New York and then having to bounce back and get this one tonight as Z.Randolph runs by.
It hurt. New York really hurt me. You know, yesterday in practice I wasn't saying too much. Today I wasn't saying too much. I've really been to myself mostly, but I'm glad we came out and got a win today.
Time to get one more in Philly.
Most definitely.
All right, D. Miles tonight. The terrific game as Portland gets the victory here at the Fleet Center in Boston tonight. We'll come back with some highlights after this.